So hey folks, and welcome back to another video. And on today's video we're just heading out of town and we're heading down to Ewell's Triumph in Blackburn today. I've just got a couple of recalls to do on the Tiger 1200. Weather's turned good, so that's really nice. So what I'm going to do is going to head to Ewell's. I'm going to show you around Ewell's and what stock Ewell's have got in while I'm waiting for the bike to be done. It's going in for the clutch bleed, and also there's a spring on the quick shifter that needs replacing apparently under a recall notice. And then from there I'm going to head out towards Clitheroe and up towards probably Settle and that way, and do a big loop round and back down into Lancashire. Just touch on North Yorkshire en route. So yeah, stay tuned and we'll just fill up and we'll be right back. Now, one of the things I didn't tell you on the bike was I've had new tyres on, which if you watch the other videos you've probably seen. So these are the Pirelli Scorpion Trail 2s, and one thing they do is stop that whining noise which I was getting at about 65-70 on the motorway. So really happy with these. They're more of a 90% road tyre. So new tyres ready for the trip. Now when I got the tyres yesterday, I got them from Shorrock's Motorcycles in Preston. They're really good for road tyres, very reasonable, and it took them an hour to put them on. So I'm just bedding them in today. Going to do a big loop after I go to the Triumph dealer in Blackburn for the recall work, so that we can scrub off any of the oil that's on these. One of the biggest improvements that I've done on this Triumph is get those tyres off. I'm not going to take this bike off-road really, so I wanted something that was more road focused and sport touring. And I've used Pirelli Angel GTs before on the Yamaha. I was really impressed with the handling, the stickiness in the wet and the dry. So I thought, why not try the Trail 2s? And out of all of the tyres, because it's a 21-inch front wheel, I was very limited, but I was really happy that Pirelli did some. So these are, like I say, the Pirelli Scorpion Trail 2s that are now on the bike. And one other thing that I did when I went down to Preston, which is probably 40 minutes, 50 minutes away from me, I put the old original seat on, which was the standard seat on this bike, which is 875mm on its low setting. And I also bought a couple of weeks back the heated low seat, which is 855, so 20mm difference. So I do find the low seat, the heated seat that I've got on now, better, and I'll keep this one on for the trip. So I've also been testing out the sat-nav that I put on here, getting used to it. This is the Garmin XT, 350 quid, not the latest version, which is about 550. But as you can see now, there's a red line across the top, fixed camera notice. So it's showing all the cameras up here. One thing that I do notice on the motorways yesterday, it was throwing up actually without opening up the phone app, although it is connected to my phone, so it has got a signal. It was showing me live traffic reports and weather overlays as well, so you can actually overlay the rain in the area, so you can actually go on other roads to divert from the bad weather, which is a good feature. It's bright enough. I've had no issues with it so far. Been using it now for a week. So really happy with that, and also I can just take it off the bike, plan my route at night when I'm in my hotel, pop it on the bike in the morning, pop those save routes in there, just save a lot of days really on the trip depending on what I'm doing. I'm leaving this European trip pretty open planned, although I do have a final destination in mind, which was Venice, but now I'm sort of thinking Lucca. A good mate of mine, very good friend of mine, Giovanni, that lives down in Lucca in Italy. I'm going to try and make that my final destination in the 9 days that I'm away. So I think day one will be try and get through as much as France as possible down to the Route Napoleon, and then drop down towards Nice, and then head left over into Italy, and then the route back might be through the Dolomites, actually, North Italy, and then over into Austria, hang a left down towards Constance, and then through the Black Forest on the way home. So routes can change, but that's the plan. So we're just about to head on to the M6 just here, so I'm going to cut the video and then I'll rejoin when I get to Ewells, and we can have a look what stock they've got in currently. Okay, so we're outside Ewells in Blackburn. We've just dropped the bike off and they're putting it into the workshop now. So demonstrators, they've got the Speed Twin just there in the Baja orange. What else have we got? You've got a Speed Twin 900, the chrome edition with the red and chrome tank. You've got the Tiger, that's the 660 Sport, and then you've got the new 765 Street Triple R version in white, and also they've got a red version just there. So if you want to try one of these bikes out, head down to Ewells at Blackburn. They've also got the Tiger 900. No. Okay, so finally we're out of Yules. It took a little while longer today as I wanted them to do the software update just to add a function actually that I've noticed that's come onto the Triumph Tigers lately, and that's when you let the clutch out it raises the RPM like an anti-stall. So they've done all of the updates to all of the 4 ECUs that it has on this motorcycle. One of the guys was saying to me when they PDI these bikes, so from new, when they get them ready and they have to download all the software onto them, it takes them about 4 hours to download everything. So modern bikes, modern electronics, everything takes time. So yeah, so they've done the clutch bleed, they've done all of the software updates and a spring somewhere that needed doing under the recall. So I'm not sure what the other updates or any improvements in the software or anything like that, but what it has done, if you watch just now as I let my clutch out, it just blips the throttle or the revs up a little bit as an anti-stall. So that's really good. I'm happy with that, because I have stalled this bike a couple of times when setting off, and that just really helps. So yeah, all good. Now my only dilemma now is that the time is 4:20, and as you can see all of those dark rain clouds in front of me. Now we have got rain forecast shortly, so I'm not sure whether I just head back up the motorway and home, get back before it absolutely throws it down, which is what I'm going to do today. The sat-nav's telling me second exit onto Carl Fogarty Way. So that's right, Blackburn, Carl Fogarty, his hometown, and obviously a road named after him. But yeah, that's the bike bits all done. So I've got the new tyres on, I've had all of the updates done and all of the recall work done on the Tiger now. So the bike's ready for the trip in about a week's time. Now one thing I can say, if you're ever in Blackburn and you want to go to Yules Motorcycles, they don't just do Triumphs, they do other branded bikes as well. I think Suzuki's one of them. But yeah, I was talking to Philip Yule, the MD there, lovely chap, having a chat about all kinds of stuff for about an hour. He's looking forward to the new Triumph, the 400cc bikes arriving December, January time frame. We both said we think those will be a really big seller. And also price, I was asking him what price they're going to come in at. Obviously nobody knows yet, but he thinks around 5,500. And he also thinks the Indian ones, as opposed to the ones coming to the Europe and the UK, will be on a different build quality. Now the price of them in India is very cheap. I couldn't really do the conversion from the Indian currency, but they'll be cheaper obviously than the UK ones. But if they do come in at 5.5, I think Royal Enfield have really got some competition heading their way. Now if you do come to Yules, lovely bunch of people that work there, and they've got a really nice coffee lounge upstairs with free tea and coffee and even cold drinks out of the fridge. So it's nice to see a dealership giving that service. As I noticed when I went for my tyres yesterday at Shorrocks in Preston, the coffee machine was money, I think 40 pence, and it also had a note on there saying no change given. So if you haven't got 40p in your pocket, you couldn't get a coffee. So top marks for Yules Triumph and Yules Motorcycles in Blackburn. Now while I was in there, they had a very, very lovely, I think they've stopped making them actually, the classic 500s from Royal Enfield with a special, what I would call the John Player special colour scheme, which is gold and black. It was really nice. I'll pop it on screen just now. Absolutely lovely looking bike, and really good price too. And while I was waiting for the bike to be completed, I was watching Moto Man Cave, or Man Cave Moto. Tony, you'll find him on YouTube. Some of you probably watch his channel. And yeah, I was noticing that Cardo, he did a video today about Cardo. Certain units have now got, through the app on the phone, a record mechanism, so that if you're using a GoPro or a DJI Action 3 or an Insta360 camera on a motorcycle and you want to capture your audio through your comm system, you can do that now, and it actually records onto the phone and captures the audio side. And I need to watch the video back again. I was watching it with subtitles, so I couldn't hear the sound test that he was doing, but it looks like Cardo on certain models have now made it easier to capture audio for motorcycle vloggers, which is great. So I'll be giving that a watch tonight. So thanks Tony for highlighting that to everybody. Now, the other night I rewired the sat-nav straight from the battery to a switched live, and the one I used was basically under the rear passenger seat. You have a USB socket, and that's what I've wired into. So the sat-nav now will only come on when I start the motorcycle, and also I can take the sat-nav off, and it's got 6 hours battery life in the sat-nav, so I can plan routes and things like that off the bike and just clip it into the bike when I need it. So that's all good. Really happy with the sat-nav and the way it's operating. Now, the other thing that I did to the bike the other night was actually change the front brake pads to Brembo sintered pads. I noticed when I took the others out after about 3,600 miles that this bike's done so far, there's still plenty of meat left on the pads. But with me buying it second hand, I wanted to just change those, make sure I've got some new brake pads on the front. And one thing that I can't understand when you buy brake pads is they always sell them in, you know, a set for one side, not both sides. So when you buy a set, you get 2 pads, that's it. And I don't know why, because I always come across this problem. Whenever I order a set of pads, I always get 2 pads and then think, oh crap, need to order the other side to get 4 pads to do both sides. Don't know why they sell pads not in sets of 4. It's pretty mad. But anyway, those are replaced now. Very easy to change. Literally 2 bolts, take the caliper off, push the pads out, and push the pistons back, take the top of the reservoir cap off, and the fluid will rise when you push the pistons back. Do one side at a time, then you don't need to drain any fluid out there. And then literally pop your new pads in, bit of copper slip on the back, put them back onto the caliper, a couple of presses of the brake lever to get the pistons and pads pushed against the disc, and that's it basically. So it took me literally 15 minutes to change both sides last night. So that's all done, really happy with that. And that's it. No more work to do on the Tiger. She's ready, and as I wanted to get her, so ready for the big trip, as I say, and can't wait. Now, one thing I did notice is my sat-nav, when we're not actually programmed to go anywhere, keeps closing itself, so I need to alter the settings just to make sure that doesn't happen. So yeah, we're just going to get back on the motorway and head back up to Lancashire. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Hope you have a good Sunday and the rest of the week at work, and we'll catch you the following weekend when we head out on our big trip. So stay tuned for that. If you're not a subscriber to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, ding that bell for future videos coming up, and also if you can give a video a big like, that'd be great. Thanks for now, and catch you soon. Ciao.